Hello, hello, it's Tracy Daviero here. Hold on, I'm just trying to open my crazy PowerPoint and I don't know, I just restarted my computer because I had the same issue as last week where it was just super slow. So anyway, I'm going to get that and I want to welcome you. So we're going to get started in just a second here. I wanted to go ahead and jump on and we'll start right at 12 when my clock ticks. Here we go. That's the information I'm looking for. Happy Monday morning. There we go. And so here we go. So hi, it's Tracy Daviero from Your VA Mentor. Welcome to our first official Facebook Live in the group. So I want to start doing these every week. What I want to do is I want to be able to answer your questions that you have about starting your VA business and starting, getting things going in your business. And so I figured it was a really good opportunity for me to go live in the group and be able to, just go back and forth with some of you, but I'll always bring you a training topic. And so I'm going to do these Mondays at noon Eastern. That's my time. I'm in the Eastern time zone. So I'm going to do them once a week, and it's just going to be, maybe 10 minutes every week, and just generate a little bit of conversation in the group. I'll have a little topic that we can kind of talk about, and I would love to hear your feedback. So thanks so much for being here. I want to talk today about your why. So, okay, so yeah, see, I tried to open my PowerPoint here. It's open 10 times. So give me just a minute to shut down what's in front of me. It's weird sometimes when you reboot your computer. Fun technology. So here's what I want to talk to you about. So when you're starting a VA business, and this conversation has come up often in the last few weeks, and that's why when I talk about something, when I teach something, it's generally because I'm having conversations with people, and this particular topic is coming up. So one of the reasons that when we get started about talking about being a VA and getting into the VA industry, particularly when you don't really know that much about it. The very first thing that comes up is the reason that you are wanting to start, right? So when somebody contacts me, they will say, I'm looking at the virtual assistant industry. I am going back to my job after maternity leave, and I want to pay, I want to work for myself so that I can stay home with my family, or so that I can, I'm physically unable to work in an office setting anymore, so I need to be able to stay home. So there's a reason that goes with that, right? There's always something they say they want to start a VA business, and this is why they want to start it. And so that's what I want to talk about today, because one of the most important things, and we do talk about a why, because when you are a business owner, there are days when things are tough, right? You get tired, and depending on what your business model is like and that type of thing, you may be searching for clients all the time, and so that can get kind of tiring if you don't get a lot of yeses all the time, and maybe before you perfect your marketing message or whatever. So the why, the reason that you're actually going to get into business, is a really important piece of it, because it's the thing that drives you to continue kind of doing the legwork that you need to do whenever the days get tough. And so it's something that sort of spurs you on, and the thing that you're able to accomplish, or the thing you're able to have whenever you have your own business, right? And so we talk about that often. But when I talk to VAs who are just sort of researching the business, or maybe just getting going and that kind of thing, the why is generally centered around their family and that type of thing. And I want to make really clear that the very first reason that you should be considering opening a virtual assistant business or starting your own VA practice, whatever you want to call it, is that you want to be a business owner. This is super, super important, because it's not a job. It's not a virtual remote worker. It's not somebody who just telecommutes or works from home. It is actually opening a business. And while there are places that you can find jobs and work on teams and do that kind of thing, the bulk of the people who are, running successful VA businesses are actual business owners. They consider themselves to be a business owner. They work everything so that they operate a business, and it's not just about staying home and not going back to work, or being there for the kids, or being physically able to work from home. Those aren't really the things that go with the level of VAs that I teach anyway. So when we're talking about your why, well, first of all, when we talk about being a business owner, we talk about knowing all the pieces of your business, learning the things that you don't know, and making those decisions. And the good news is that when you are starting your business, you generally already have the skills that you need in order to open a business, right? Because that's why you're considering it to begin with. Either you've got an administrative career, or you are, you've got training, whatever it is that you've got behind you. You already have the skills that you know that you can offer to clients, which is why you're considering being a VA to begin with. But what you do need is you need to have the drive. You need to be able to have a business owner mindset. And then you really need to have the why. So if you don't know what I'm talking about in terms of a why, that's what I wanted to talk about today. So the very first why, you need to want to be a business owner, because if you don't want to be a business owner, then everything else is kind of a struggle, okay? That's what's really important. But when you think about the other things that you can consider for your why, not just a matter of I want to, replace my corporate salary, I want to this and that. I'm going to give you a list of a bunch of them that, and there are many, many, there's lots of reasons that you may want to start a business, and they may be related to the way you want to run your life or the lifestyle that you want to live. But here are some of the most popular ones, okay, for me. And I think I have like 10 here or something. So, so you can set your own schedule. It is really important to, to understand that you will want to have business hours of some kind set. Now that could be afternoons, that could be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that could be, I'm in the office in the evenings and that kind of thing. But you really do want to have your own schedule set up so that everybody around you, your clients and your family, knows when you're working and when you're not working, because that's the line that gets fuzzy a lot whenever you're first starting out, especially when there's so many things to do, when you're trying to get your marketing all set up and find clients, do some networking and that kind of thing, and maybe still try to have a job and work with a little bit of client work at the same time. So but setting your own schedule is a really big why. You want to be able to do that. I love being able to do that. I love being able to decide when I'm in the office and when I'm not. And some service offerings will allow you to do that and some will not. Some will be, if you are operating client care for somebody, generally you'll probably have to be available during business hours. So those are the things you have to be able to think of. What services can I offer based on the schedule that I want to set up? You want to be able to set your own rate. That's important too. It's a lot of the job postings that you can see on different VA forums and that kind of thing. Some people try to quote a rate of what they will pay, and that's not always the way it goes. It shouldn't be the way it goes at all, but to get a ballpark of what you should be able to charge, that's kind of handy, right? As sometimes it's handy, but you're able to decide what your value is, and you are the one who's able to decide, to tell people what it is that you charge. And I use a McDonald's as an example a lot whenever I'm teaching. So, you don't go into McDonald's and tell them what you'd like to pay for a Big Mac. You go in and you pay what the posted rate is. And it's the same thing with your business. Your business is yours. Your rates are yours. And so when you're able to set your own rate, that's, a really good thing, a really good reason, a really good why for you as well. Never having a boss again. This is one of mine. I had a really crappy boss in the very last sort of job that I had. And so, and they decided when I worked, where I worked. I had been telecommuting for 8 years, and they ended up making me come into the office for the final year that I was working with them. And they decided what I did. They decided where I worked, like I say, not from home. I had done a really good job for 8 years from home, but apparently I wasn't able to do that for my final year. And they decided how much money I was going to make. So my decision right there was that, I wanted to be the one who was in charge of those, things. And sometimes I've been a worse boss than that guy was, and sometimes I've been a better boss. And so, but, the choice is that, I still want to be the one who makes those, decisions for sure. So unlimited earning potential. And, that always seems like the really, out there, exciting kind of why, because a lot of people think that, unlimited is not really true, right? They think that sometimes that's people make it up, or they're just trying to sell you something, right? To say that I can make you $100,000 VA. Well, I do know people who are making $100,000 and more as VAs. I'm not, and I'm not interested in doing that. I don't want to work that hard, and I don't want to. I don't need, a team of people underneath me and that kind of thing. I've always just wanted to be able to, replace the corporate salary that I would make if I worked outside the home. And a lot of people will want that too. Sometimes, they just want to pay for the daycare, right? When you go back to work after maternity leave, sometimes it's Your salary is there just to pay for your travel, your lunches, and your daycare. And so you want to be, how much money you need to bring into your home, and that's what's the unlimited part about it, is you make that decision, and you're the one who's able to decide what that is. Working full-time or part-time, again, a big why. If you have a lot of, if you have kids and they do a lot of activities and that type of thing, maybe you just want to be able to work part-time and be able to earn a better income than just working a part-time job. And lots of times too, if people have administrative help in their offices, they generally need full-time help because that's what they are accustomed to, right? It doesn't mean that they need it. We all know that we could probably replace them as VAs, but they are accustomed to having someone there full time, and it's sometimes very difficult to job share or go down to a part-time basis and do your actual job. So being able to do that is a huge why. Doing only what you love is super important to me. I think that's a huge why for a lot of people, because you do get to choose the services that you offer. And maybe in the beginning you'll do things that you know how to do so that you can get clients in the door, but for the most part, you're going to be building a business where you do only do the things that you love, and that you are the one who's in charge of, the things that the training that you take that supports the things that you love. I always tell the story about one of my clients, one of my coaching clients, who she was she provided social media services, and she also took a sommelier course, and she was interested in wine and that kind of thing. And she made a business. She combined her hobby and her training, and she decided to approach the Small Winemakers Association in her area, and she started doing social media for all of the small winemaker companies and vineyards and that kind of thing in her particular area. So you can do what you love, and for the people that you want. So these are really examples of whys. Like I said, I have all kinds of them. Work from anywhere is the last one on my list, and I'll just hit that one quickly before we finish up here. Working from anywhere, I know one of my coaching clients, again, actually, she lived in Portugal last year, and she went for 3 months, and she did her work over there because she was able to. So there are reasons that you're going to start your business, and those are the things that are going to drive you every day, like I say. So the big why is, you need to know that you want to be a business owner first. And then once you go from there, then what is the thing that's going to drive you and keep you doing all the things that you need to do to be successful? So that is my tip for you today. It's your why. I would love to hear your feedback and your comments. And I will come to you again next Monday with a totally different topic. Take care and have a great day.